I went in with the Canadian Assault Formation. I've come back to tell you how those British and Canadian assault troops went almost contemptuously through minefields and curtains of machine gun fire to clear the beaches and storm the casemates and rush the pillboxes and kill the Germans with the bayonet. Those that didn't surrender, and many did surrender, and then push on to their objectives miles beyond. I've come back to tell what it felt like when the dream came true, the dream of going back to France.
The biggest thing for me is crossing the streets. I want to cross the street and I'll stand at the side of the road and someone's going to stop for me. Ontario, it won't happen.
So it's courtesy.
It seems that way sometimes, you know. Oh, geez, this guy wants to cross the street. Let him cross the street. Whereas Ontario, it's just another car. And you can find yourself waiting 10 minutes sometimes on the side of the road.
Pump both feet. You got to pump both feet. Faster. How Peggy's Cove got its name, and this is where he talks about the shipwreck and the young woman whose name was Margaret, and they all called her Peggy. And then this is where these two ladies from North Dakota came here, and Bruce and I interviewed them. And it's called Who Put the Peggy in Peggy's Cove? This is Nova Scotia history with a twist. They said this is Peggy when she grew up. That, like I said, she was a little girl too young to remember her name. Miraculously washed ashore, and they called her Peggy. And everybody around the bay would say, let's go see Peggy of the Cove. So they gave her the title, and eventually they named it Peggy's Cove. They said it's true. Bill DeGar says there's no historical documents to prove it. The locals say it's a bunch of hogwash. There is the hat. This would be her face, her shoulders, doesn't have any arms, her waist, and her long gown.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the freedom to do what you want to do.
Wow.
And as Canadians, I think we have the door's wide open when it comes to that.
A lot of possibilities. If you could say something to all the rest of the Canadians, what would it be?
Live life to the fullest.
The store's been open since 1840, but part of the store has been in its current form at least since the 1860s. Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot, and during the off season or shoulder season, it's pretty quiet. So there's some good photographs here too to see Halifax over the years. Sailor Town, or Irish Town as well, and also known as Skid Row. And this is where you would go if you're just coming off of the ship from a long time at sea. And you can spend all your paychecks down here. And if you look at the window in front of the store, there's a series of railings or pipes that cross the bottom of the window.
Right.
And those were there to help sailors actually keep their balance and keep them from falling drunk through the storefront.
So these pipes here,
Yeah.
the downspouts.
A lot of favorite things, actually. I'd say the hospitality, the history, and the Maritimes, definitely the laid-back feel of everything.
What's your favorite natural element in this area?
I'd say Halifax Harbour, locally at least.
Beautiful.
But if you go up to Cape Breton Island, the Cape Breton Highlands National Park is pretty stellar. Just the connection to the water and kind of the heritage of the city. Like everything there's a lot of modern aspects of the city, but everything is pretty well connected back in the past in some capacity. Even when you go up to the Citadel, which is the highest vantage point in Halifax, it kind of overlooks the entire Halifax Harbour and right out to the North Atlantic as well.
Where are you from?
Dartmouth.
Anything that you like about Halifax if you were...
I like the women on Spring Garden Road.
Yeah.
Ou alors, si on réussit à appeler, personne n'entend ni ne comprend. On ne peut s'éveiller d'un tel cauchemar que si quelqu'un vous entend et vous aide à vous réveiller.
But there's a charm here. You've got the cultural charm that you do not have out west. You've got the artistic scene is amazing, right? There's artists that come from all over.
Ici, Baie-Saint-Paul est vraiment reconnu pour l'art, pour les arts, surtout la peinture et la sculpture.
Pourquoi?
Aussi, ça s'en vient. Les gens venaient ici beaucoup pour comme je disais avant, pour la beauté du paysage. Donc, ils se sont mis à peindre les paysages et ça a commencé à être reconnu comme ça. Il y avait des gens riches de New York qui venaient, il y a très longtemps, qui venaient ici, c'était leur maison d'été, des fois, qui venaient. À Malbaie, dans Charlevoix. Et puis, ça s'est fait connaître comme ça. Et puis, c'est la beauté du paysage qui fait que ça attire les gens. Et puis, on s'est rendu compte que l'art, les tableaux, ça devenait avec le temps très lucratif.
Vous pourriez peut-être, en visitant nos salles, apprendre beaucoup sur Charlevoix. Entre autres, ici, on a une exposition permanente sur Charlevoix qui vous raconte un peu notre histoire et notre culture également. Ça pourrait être intéressant. Présentement, on a, comme vous voyez, on a un petit groupe spécial, mais vous pouvez visiter quand même.
Qu'est-ce que je me souviens en le plat de Québec? C'est quoi ça?
Je me souviens, c'est peut-être pour les premières guerres, là. Quand les Canadiens sont allés en France pour la guerre là, qu'ils ont gagné. Là,
je comprends. Je me souviens.
Je me souviens des...
I have a question. What is this place?
That's Schwartz. Smoked meat. The most famous smoked meat in the world, probably.
That's what the line is for?
Yeah, all day, every day, it's like that.
Smoked meat. Smoked meat.
Crazy smoked meat.
I'm looking around Canada, seeing what is uniquely Canadian.
Oh.
What do you like most about French Canada?
The team. No, what I like the most about French Canada, it's the people. They're friendly and open. I guess they're more open than the rest of Canada. I don't know why.
Open to what?
Open to everything. Open to travel, open to difference.
These drums are Nigerian?
No, Senegal.
Senegal, right. What's the primary difference between the drums that are made in Africa? The wood?
Oh, everything, the wood, the skin, the quality.
It's the ability of Canadians to tolerate each other, to appreciate and to value the differences in the various regions of the country, and without necessarily abandoning their own. And it doesn't arise from people traveling from one place of the country to the other. It just seems to be that the Canadians are a lot more accepting of the diversity within the country.
If you could say one thing to the future of Canada, what would it be?
That we have to really figure out what are the important values that we need to take into account, or that we need to use to guide the development and the governance of our country. Part of it's economic, but that's only part of it. Part of it is also environmental. We have to have a sustainable environment, and it's beginning to look like in a global sense where humanity is not really recognizing that, not really doing much in that regard. But socially as well, we can't be abandoning people that are homeless, or people that are struggling with health problems, or people that are struggling with poverty. So what are the values that we really need to focus on and to use in guiding the decisions, the major critical decisions that need to be made in this country?
So what inspires you to be creative?
People have similar goals, or they inspire you, or they just applaud you. They just push you that little piece further. Even just one person saying, I like what you did, or I saw it, or I felt it, or I got it, or that inspired me to do something. That's it. It could be very tight-knit, but it's very important to have. There's like natural creativity and there's functional creativity, and I think those are two different things.
Does intelligence have to do with creativity?
I think it's a type of intelligence.
Yeah.
Creativity itself is a type of intelligence. I don't think it's necessarily part of being intelligent. I think it's like having an intelligence speak through you.
So you think you have to tap into it as opposed to something that is innate within you?
I think that depends on the
I think it's both. I think everybody has the ability to tap into it because we have the innate ability.
Choose Tom Thompson because he was somebody who took the time and the adventure and to look for all the wonderful aspects, geographic and spiritual aspects of Canada. did I use the dialogue, a conversation between two people. I went and interviewed a random sampling around the country of 150 people. And what you see here is actually the inspiration of the interviews that I conducted. So you can see how each one of these pieces are actually the dreams and inspirations of random people that exist as citizens of this incredible place we call Canada. And the last is, we have wonderful resources here. We have all the education and all the opportunities to do whatever we want. And it's how we manage those technologies and resources which will give the answer and a lot of the effects which will happen to create our future in the 21st century as a country. So again, I'd like to thank everybody for coming, because you are all a part of what you see on the walls. Because without you, and to create this incredible place, none of this inspiration would be possible.
I'm Marcia Baird.
I'm Charles Baird. Where are you from?
Where are you from?
We're from Lethbridge.
Lethbridge, Alberta.
Great. And where'd you just come from?
We went to a place called Métis Crossing.
Beautiful.
Yeah, Old Hannah was the last place we camped. Now we're driving back to Lethbridge.
What's the historical significance?
They got a historic village there. They used to gather there on their hunts. They cross back and forth. They'd meet there.
That was a meeting place.
And now they got a 512 acre site, and there's a campground on it too.
Yeah.
So you can go camping there if you want, because you're right on the North Saskatchewan River there.
What's the ideal Canadian landscape for you guys?
I love the prairies because you can see way out. Sunrise, sunset.
It is variety.
The day of the family farm is pretty much over. It's the big corporations that you need to be that big actually to survive.
And if you could do one thing to change that, what would it be?
Sad enough to say it would be get rid of the wheat board.
Oh, okay. Because and why is that? Because they regulate what you can do with your crop?
They absolutely do. With wheat especially, they set the price.
Great,
and
great.
It's pretty much you have to sell it to them.
Okay, so and what is the most beautiful place that you've been, you know, traveling around?
I actually like it just at home.
Great.
Down here, Kenosee is beautiful.
Yeah. Do you feel that creativity is in farming?
Can
you be creative in farming?
You kind of have to be. You got to keep moving forward. You can't just stand still and let things happen that way. You got to keep changing, whether or not you want to do it or not.
In terms of what kind of creative challenges are you facing when you're growing your crops, like weather and...
Our biggest problem out here is the weather. The heat kills us every year.
Oh really? How was your crops this summer?
They were looking pretty strong, but it's been fairly dry. The cold spring got us off to a late start, and maturity is just not where it should be. We're definitely behind schedule.
Where would the farming state be so you could earn a good living and...
Definitely.
do
something that a family could stay at home and have a self-sustaining farm where you don't have to go to the city for the winters or somewhere else for a source of income.
Any reason why?
I had a lot of great times there.
It was originally called Tete Jean. It's called Yellowhead now because they anglicized it, but Tete Jean was one of the first French guys out here, pioneer guys. And he was blonde, right? So we called it Tete Jean. And that's what's called the Yellowhead. It's the highway up to Jasper. Blonde, right? So we called it Tete Jean. And that's what's called the Yellowhead. It's the highway up to Jasper.
What is, in your mind, the best thing about Canada?
I think that probably our democratic way of life, probably.
What do you think is the worst thing about Canada?
The abuse by industry and of our environment.
If somebody from another country said, describe the Canadian landscape to me, what would you say to them?
Just difficult to describe because there's such tremendous variety here. From coastal rainforest to Arctic tundra to prairies, mountains, high mountains, mountain lakes. It's just about anything you can want in a temperate zone.
Where do you think you'd live if you could live anywhere in Canada? Where do you think you'd live?
Live in BC.
Yeah.
Just kind of what I'm used to. The prairies don't appeal to me at all.
Why?
Just too flat.
Yeah.
Come here.
What happened to his ear?
You run into an ambush of a coyote, cat, or bear. Comes a poking his nose in where it doesn't belong.
In your area, what's your favorite place to hike? All through here.
Up through here?
Yeah.
Glacier. Abbott Ridge.
Abbott Ridge.
My favorite hike.
Is that right there?
If I had to just say one, that would be it. It gives you the whole encompassing of glacier there, like Salcadell Brook you look into, you come and you look back into the Hermit and the Swiss Peaks and the Rogers Range. And then when you come around the corner, you look into the Bonnie.
Wow.
Wicked, eh?
How long of a hike?
3 hours, 3 hours up to the summit of the ridge. One way, and then it's a nice hike.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
What is it? What would you call this?
Signal.
What would you call this?